Happy voting day, everyone. As you can see, I voted, which is why it's taken me a little bit to get this video out. And it's looking pretty strange outside, like I'm not sure if it's going to rain or what's going on, but I do know it is hot. So I decided to bring my video inside today. The tarot card for the day is the Knight of Swords, but we actually had the Knight of Swords in reverse. Now, a lot of times you think that reverse is just the opposite meaning of when it's upright, but not always in the tarot. So, here we have the Knight of Swords, but he was reversed, like this. So, a little bit about knights in the court cards in the tarot is that the court cards, they represent, the knights, they represent the courts. They're like the court's defenders. So they provide details or amplified energy. So when you have a knight, you can see he's like full of energy. He's going for it, you know, and he's striking a pose of defense. Now when it comes to swords in the tarot, the general feel of the swords is action, change, force, ambition, courage, and even conflict. So when we get it in reverse, like the general meaning for the card is that like it brings scattered thought, disregard for consequences, obsessive thinking, tunnel vision. We have this energy on this very important voting day today. But personally, it in reverse, the Knight of Swords, it indicates that you need to go it alone in order to like build up value in life experiences and maturity. It's about maturing. It's about taking that deep breath and letting go of the stress, you know, slow down. Let go of some of that stress and allow yourself to feel at peace. So, you know, it reminds us that even though anxiety is really high, we need to take a deep breath, you know, sit and have some peace in your life. Whatever it brings, whatever, is it deep breathing and meditation for you? Is it listening to some music and having a cup of tea or a nice glass of wine? Just turn the negativity and the thoughts off for a little bit and just be. You know, some of the questions, like I like to give you questions, so some of the questions to reflect on when you think about the Knight of Swords, yet in reverse, is, you know, like, are you rushing through life? Or do you stop and savor, you know, the successes you've already had? I know this is a tough one for me, and it's been a tough one for me for probably the last 3 years, because I've sought to make changes in my life, and while I have one profession that's, I feel, is coming to an end, I tend to have looked at it as, you know, that I'm failing, but I'm not. You know, this is making me stop and think about all the success that I had in it, and how did it prepare me for what I have coming in my future. So how was your past experiences shaped who you're becoming, instead of focusing on, you know, maybe what you didn't do right? Focus on what you did get out of it, you know. Another question that you might want to ask, especially if you're journaling, do you feel guilty about resting when you have so much to do. I know for myself, personally speaking, I sometimes feel guilty when I just read a book that's a novel that has absolutely nothing to do with learning something or anything like that, just for pure enjoyment. I feel guilty sometimes just to sit and rest, because when you have so much to do, it's difficult. Sometimes you just have to look at those dirty dishes and go, well, they can be done later. Right? They'll still be there probably. If, you know, somebody's probably not going to do it for you. But instead of feeling guilty about taking a time out, you need to rest. Take a time out. You know, take a deep breath. So the Knight of Swords in reverse. So let's see what the Oracle card has for us for today's energy on this voting day here in the United States. Oh, what do we need to know? Let's see. How about this one? Interesting. Be the powerful space between opposite poles. Be the powerful space between opposite poles. Third pillar. Be at peace. Be the peaceful one between, you know, I guess what comes to mind is yin and yang. I don't know why that's coming to my mind, but, you know, you have to have balance of power, of good and bad. But this card is encouraging you to be in between, be in that gray area for a little bit. Be in the gray area. The Knight of Swords reversed. And now we have it. So there's today's reading, and I hope that everybody has a magical day today, and I will see you tomorrow.